On today's episode of Plush Conversations.
It was a horror show. I have nothing to lose. Here I am crying in the front seat of our car.
I was literally screaming and crying myself.
Yeah, it was hectic, to say the least.
Crazy, just absolute crazy going on. My heart still breaks like every day.
No, it's called crying in the fetal position.
You've got it. You've got it. We'll be at a playground and, we'll all be in masks. And Braxton will like run up and say, "Are you sick? I'm not sick. Do you think we can play together?" Like, just to hear your child say that just breaks your heart.
And later on, stay tuned for a sneak peek inside this beauty.
Everybody's pretty miserable right now. Expect to be stressed out. That's what you need to do, because there are going to be moments of panic. There's going to be moments of just mass amounts of stress, and it's normal.
In a world full of so many things today, their lives, Matt and Kristen Courtney, hailing all the way from Colorado, between advocating for cats, fostering dogs, they too had the American dream. Having already purchased a home in Colorado, they decided to make a move for one of most reasons, to be closer to family. So, how was that journey? And not to forget being super mom at the same time. Was it fun? Was it stressful? What would they change? Well, let's see tonight. Let's talk about it.
Hi, I'm Kristen Courtney.
I'm Matt Courtney.
And we have had the PLUSH experience.
Welcome. How are you all doing today?
Excellent.
We're great. Thank you for having us.
Yes, you're so welcome. So tell me a little bit more about your family, because I love the fact of your actual purchasing stories.
That's a fun question. we're from really all over the place. I'm originally from upstate New York. She's originally from Bahamas. We've lived all over the place. Our latest stint was in Denver for 3 years. And so when we moved out to Maryland, we wanted to be closer to family. It's an easy drive or quick flight for us.
And it's not just us. We brought my mom, and we have a 4-year-old now who came with us. So we brought the whole family.
How did we meet? I love this story. Who wants to tell the story about how we met?
When we came here from Denver, we didn't know anything. We'd never been to the area, and we had a very good friend that was a realtor in Denver. So he had hooked us up with somebody for the same agency that he worked for. And it was a horror show. We drove around for 3 days. We were only here for a week. We drove around for 3 days. And by the end of the 3rd day, we'd only seen 3 or 4 houses. I think we'd only been in 2. And I was literally curled up in a ball in the front seat with our 4-year-old crying in the back to get out of the car. And I was just in tears. And I said, "I don't know what we're going to do. I have no clue what to do. We don't even know where we are." So I just started Googling on my phone, and I actually typed in best real estate agent in the Waldorf area, and SIMONE Plush came up, and I thought, I have nothing to lose. Here I am crying in the front seat of our car. So I called, and you called me back right away, and what was an absolute nightmare turned into a dream come true. Like, you literally, like, I don't know, like, just saved us. It was unbelievable.
Well, thank you. I feel like sometimes when I relive things with the client, I like cringe, because I just remember, I told you we had similar stories when I moved into our home, which I was the agent. And I think that was like one of the worst experiences. I was literally screaming and crying myself. So Geez, well, it's one thing to buy and sell. That's two transactions at one time. But if you can talk to me about how it was to actually be buying in one state, living and selling in another state.
Yeah, it was hectic to say the least. Constantly staging our house, constantly having to leave our house because it's now staged, waiting on offers, and she's cleaning up mud after everybody that walks in the door so we can get in and get out 15 minutes later
With a 4-year-old.
with a 4-year-old. So it was very hectic from that standpoint. The buying process here, you kept me in line, which is hard to do. You spent a lot of time with me to walk me through what it's like in those steps, because we've moved obviously from different states prior, but this time we wanted our forever home. We wanted it to be done.
How was that selection process when you were actually picking out the homes?
We had so many obstacles. We had to close on one house and buy the other house all within a certain days. So, I mean, that part was challenging, but us picking out the house, there was never a house that I liked that he didn't like, or vice versa. We were really lucky because we talked to you and I told you my checklist. I said, it's got to have a bench in the shower. It's got to have this. I mean, I was really specific. And I remember you going to see houses and you said, okay, it had everything, but it didn't have that bench in the shower. And I was like, nope. How am I supposed to shave my legs? That's not going to work. And I mean,
Matt thought you could just fling a bench in there.
Exactly. And I mean, we were really lucky.
Still stand by that.
But I mean, we had the same taste in things. You were so amazing with when we said, this is our budget. These are our must-haves. That made it really easy because honestly, we're so different, but we have the same taste in almost everything. And if we don't, he basically just says, okay, whatever, go ahead. So I mean,
wears me down.
Pretty much. I mean, he knows if I'm happy, he's going to be happy. So, that helps too. But the biggest thing was you were so good about going through the checklist and finding that. So we didn't have those issues.
I think there's a couple of things to add on there too. You kept us to kind of the 80-20 rule, which here's 80% of the things you must have.
Right.
If it doesn't have 20%, maybe you got to take another look, depending on how important that 20% is.
Right.
So you kept us honest there. And then on top of that, I think what was really helpful in making our purchasing decision is we walked into this house unfinished for our walkthrough and then got on a plane back to Denver. But you just kept coming back and giving us videos and saying, here's what this looks like, here's what that looks like. And that helped having that video to go back to and say, okay, yeah, this is the one with XYZ. Was really helpful and made us feel more confident.
Right. It's a lot to take in such a short amount of time while we're selling the other house. I mean, crazy, just absolute crazy going on. And I mean, I totally forgot about all this. You did everything for us from across the country.
Yeah, I still have the video that I go back and I look at sometimes where I go, how did that work again in the house? And I just pull up the video because the guy walked through it.
Yeah, because you did our walkthrough.
That is so humbling to hear. Oh, I love you guys. Did I say that already? I love you guys.
We love you too. It was an amazing experience.
When you are purchasing a home, it can be a little, right? I always say there's 3 times when you're really excited. When you get pre-approved, when they accept your contract, your offer, and when you close. Everything else in between is fair game. Do you think you guys found that to be true? Any part of that in your process? And if so, what part was that for you?
It was the going back and forth constantly with all the different provisions in the contracts and figuring out from the underwriters. And that's always the hardest part.
From the outside looking in, honest opinion, I find you to be quite a super mom. I'm not even gonna lie. And I even told that to Matt. I'm like, how does Kristen find time to grab the universe and give it to Braxton? Does she breathe? This kid has literally the best childhood. So here you are now in a new state, left all his friends, and then a pandemic hits right after the Christmas.
Lots of mommy guilt. Lots of mommy guilt. We do sticker books. Last night we're doing sticker books, and he's like, it was like a zoo sticker book, and he was doing the aquarium page, and he's like, this is me, and this is my best friend, Simon. And Simon was his best friend in Colorado.
Oh my God.
So my heart still breaks like every day. I don't know how any of us are doing it, to be honest. It's grace of God.
No,
grace
it's
of God.
called crying in the fetal position. in
You've
a
got
corner.
it. You've got it. You've absolutely got it.
Literally, just say, go away, mommy's crying.
Exactly.
In Colorado, I know where everything is, everything to do with, you know, a 4-year-old, where to take him, what he likes to do. And we moved here originally, it was, okay, now we got to go find out things to do. And we moved here because we wanted to be close to DC.
The museums, all those.
Yeah.
And that was kind of
amenities.
our out. And then by February, March, they're all closed.
You know, everything's limited.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think the thing is your personality and Braxton's personality, I can see initially when you guys concocted this idea to move, like, it's no problem. We'll make new friends.
You know, I'll walk up to anybody and say, hey, how you doing? You know, and Bragton is the same way, but it's heartbreaking because we'll be at a playground and, you know, we'll all be in masks. And Bragton will like run up and say, are you sick? I'm not sick. Do you think we can play together? Like, just to hear your child say that just breaks your heart.
So, Matt and Kristen, tell me, what have you done to this absolutely gorgeous house since you both closed?
Well, when you walk in the front door to the right, that used to be a wide open space. So we got a contractor and we had them put French doors on it and put up a wall. And I made that my home gym. To the left is our dining room. We love that space. We put a new chandelier in, and obviously we had the house painted because it was white. Straight ahead is an office space. We decided to make that bright orange and blue because those were Bracton's favorite colors. He loves it, and that's his toy space. And then there's our living room. We furnished that. The pictures that I put in there, that's actually the color palette for the whole house. And I just loved it because it was lions, and I'm a big cat person. After the living room, we did the sitting room, which is such a great space. I love that space because when people come over, we just kind of sit in here, you know, we'll have a glass of wine and talk. And my husband put 2 silly pictures of our cats in there, which always makes me smile when I'm in that room. And then in the kitchen, we really didn't do much, just painted and set up life, you know. Upstairs, we have a guest bedroom, which we really like for when our parents come and stay and visit. The other room that we really loved was Bracton's bedroom, and our 4-year-old has his heart set on being an astronaut right now. So we made it into an astronaut's dream. We have a wall that's a galaxy, and we have plush planets, every single planet you can imagine. So it's a space theme, and he really loves it. And then we have our favorite room in the house, which is our bedroom. It's our sanctuary. We went with darker colors in it, which we love. And we've got our large canopy bed, and it's all luxury. That's our favorite room. That's our sanctuary. When we close our doors, like the whole world goes away.
So we close on the house, we settle, and then I get a phone call.
Yeah, and I mean, that was really, really wonderful for us too, because we had a finished basement in the house that we lived in Colorado. And so my mom lived with us down there. And so we moved her with us here. I called you one day and I said, Simone, this is our budget. Find us a condo. We're going to buy my mom a condo. And you were able to do that for us as well. And there was nobody else we would have even thought about asking We just trusted you, and we have such a good relationship with you. And that process was ridiculously easy. We told you exactly what she needed, and you were able to find it. We saw maybe 3 or 4 places, and like we walked in, we're like, this is it. This is perfect.
All right, here we go. What is an item or items that you could buy that would make a cashier feel very uncomfortable?
Buying women products when you're a man.
So like my brain, I'm like, if I was a cashier and a guy comes up and he's checking out duct tape, rope, bleach, I'm like, I'm not making eye contact because he knows I can identify him. Have you ever eaten anything off the floor after dropping it? And when's the last time you did that?
Remember when I got up a minute ago? Ben.
Constantly. Constantly.
If you had a stage name, what would it be?
RBF.
What's that? And nope, not safe for work, huh?
That's it.
What's something you do in the mirror that you'd be too embarrassed to do in front of anyone else?
Nothing.
That's true with him. He doesn't care.
If your life had a mascot, what would that mascot be?
Eeyore.
If you could make a rule for one day that everyone had to follow, what would that rule be?
Be nice to each other.
Be nice to each other. Everybody's pretty miserable right now. That's a really good one.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for playing the plush round with me. If you can give advice to another person that's watching this and they're thinking about buying, thinking about selling, may not be in the same state, what piece of advice would you like to lend to them?
I think my advice would be to expect to be stressed out. Know it's okay to be stressed out. Be proactive. Have faith in the process. And just if you go in expecting that it's going to be really hard, but you'll get through it, that's what you need to do, because there are going to be moments of panic. There's going to be moments of just mass amounts of stress, and it's normal. But it will work out. And if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, there's always the next.
Mine would be to lean on your realtor. You got to lean on them. They live, eat, and breathe this, especially you. You know, if they say, here's the process, here's the plan, follow it. Makes things easier. So I can tell the story real quick. As we were moving, we were doing things so quickly right before Christmas. I purchased an exercise bike, a Peloton, and it was a total surprise for Kristen. So I concocted an idea with you, Simone. Can you please get Kristen out of the house just so I could get the Peloton into a closet and shut the door until Christmas? So you ended up going out with Kristen because it wasn't an awkward request for me to say, hey, why don't you go hang out with Kristen? We succeeded in that endeavor, and Kristen was very surprised.
But I mean, I'm so grateful that we had the relationship that you and I were just able to go hang out with the kids, and Matt was able to pull that off because
That was fun.
that was their realtor.
That was fun. That's when I found out that you used to be a cheerleader.
Oh yeah. And I found out you were not.
Right. Thank you guys so much. I'm literally, Kristen, you're so cute. I'm literally sending you guys virtual hugs.
I know, we love you so much.
Yeah.
We miss seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining Plush Conversations, and you have made my night. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Next time on Plush Conversations.
You were, believe it or not, my very first ever client in the world.
No way.
And actually, I thought you were a scammer. Somebody out here walking him, because he just can't be out here by himself, right?
I remember, Simone, I was ready to defend you
As
too.
soon as you open the door, I bum rush you.
Yes.
And you're like, oh my gosh, she's never gonna sell with me. She thinks I'm crazy. I almost got her killed.
Right. I didn't have any issues until it was time for me to move. I created a situation and then you had to calm me down, of course.
Girl, tell like it was. You cussed me out and I was just crying.
He owed me. I wanted the truth from him. Yes.
How much he owe you? How much you need? Because look, we'll get it. You ride, I ride. What's up? Right, when Casey come back, I'm dead.
I just didn't like the people walking through my house. That was it.
And later on, stay tuned for a sneak peek inside this beauty.
Go ahead, you must
I love it when you call me Big Papa. Oh my gosh. My boo, usually.